Have you ever thought about a sacred book not just as something you read, but as something you run? Kind of like software designed for the most complex hardware there is, the human being. Today, we're diving into a powerful idea, that the Quran is more than just words on a page. It's a message designed for a profound personal transformation, a guide to actually change us from the inside out. Now, where does this perspective come from? Well, we're exploring the incredible teachings of Dr. Hani Achen, which he shares on his YouTube channel, The Marvelous Quran Channel. He presents a really compelling way to think about our relationship with this divine message. And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of it all. The whole point is that engaging with the Quran isn't supposed to be a passive thing. It's meant to be a dynamic process that fundamentally changes who we are. So that leads to the big question, right? How does that change actually happen? Well, the key, as Dr. Achen explains it, is a practice known as Tadabbur. This is the method, the tool for really truly engaging with the divine message. So what in the world is Tadabbur? It's so much more than just pondering or reflecting. Dr. Achen describes it as an active investigation. It's like being a detective, you know? You're tracing the signs, following the clues from one verse to the next, and connecting the dots across the entire scripture. And get this. This isn't just a nice suggestion. According to his teaching, this is actually the highest level of worship that we've been commanded to do. It's a direct instruction to investigate and internalize the message. So if we do this, what's supposed to happen? What's the intended effect? The amazing thing is, the Quran itself tells us about the effect it's supposed to have on us. Dr. Achen points to some specific verses that show this transformation is not just profound, but it can even be a physical experience. So let's look at the first example. This one is all about a powerful emotional connection, a gut reaction that happens when you truly recognize the truth of the message. This verse describes people who, as soon as they hear the revelation, are just so moved by its truth that their eyes literally fill with tears. You know, it shows it's more than just an intellectual thing. It's a deep emotional confirmation that resonates from your very core. But it can get even more intense. There's another example that describes something beyond emotion. It talks about a real, tangible, physical response to engaging with the scripture. Okay, so this verse starts by calling the Quran a scripture with similarities in pairs. What does that mean? Dr. Achen explains it's like this incredible built-in confirmation system. For any sign or truth you find, you can trace it and find its matching pair somewhere else in the Quran, even if they were revealed 20 years apart. And that act of finding those connections, that is Tadabbur. And here's where it gets wild. The verse describes what happens when a believer makes one of these discoveries. Their skin literally trembles. They get goosebumps from the sheer awe of it. But it doesn't end there. After that initial shock, a change happens. Their skin and their inner core soften, and they become open and ready for more guidance. It's a two-step process. First, the jolts of discovery, then a deep sense of peace and a desire to go deeper. Now, I know that's a pretty intense idea, a physical reaction to reading. So to help us wrap our heads around all this, Dr. Achen uses a brilliant modern analogy. Think about a computer. It has hardware, the physical chips and wires. By itself, it doesn't do much. But when you run a software program, that code actively changes the internal state of the hardware. It changes how it works, what it does. The computer becomes a different machine. So let's just lay out this comparison. The computer's hardware, that's us. Our mind, our body, our inner core. The software program, that's the Quran. And the act of Tadabbur, of deeply engaging in tracing those signs, that's the equivalent of running the program. And the result? A changed internal state, a complete spiritual transformation. So, to put it simply, the Quran is the software designed by our Creator to be installed and run on our hardware, to improve us, to change us, and to guide us. It's not meant to just sit on a digital shelf, unread. And all of this leads to a pretty challenging final thought for all of us, something Dr. Achen's teaching really brings to the forefront. The question is a deeply personal one. Are we really engaging with this message? Are we making the time and the space for it to actually affect us, to start that process of change within us? Let's use that analogy one last time. Is the software just being read? You know, like a coder looking at lines of code but never actually compiling and running the program? Or is it actually being run? Are we just reading words, or are we letting the Quran do what it was designed to do inside of us? Because At the end of the day, as Dr. Achan reminds us, this isn't some abstract historical text. It's a personal message from the creator of the entire universe, sent directly to you and to me, with the express purpose of transforming our lives for the better. So, if this perspective has sparked something in you and you want to continue on this journey of discovery, we really encourage you to explore more of Dr. Hani Achan's teachings. You can find them by searching for the Marvelous Quran channel on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us.